everybody. My name is Mitnick, and I'm the CEO and founder of DomainSkate. And I wish I had a tear-jerking video to show you, because I was all choked up over there, and that was really moving. We do security and brand protection for business. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background. I'm an intellectual property lawyer by trade. I did a lot of patent litigation, trademarks, licensing, copyright stuff. And I represented a lot of different companies, and they were having a problem monitoring their names online and actually securing their brands and names online. The solutions were extremely expensive, and so the providers that I was working with as outside counsel, it was adding to their costs even more. So it was a very expensive proposition for them dealing with a very big problem. And I'll sort of show you the backstory of this. Okay, so cybercrime, this is not, everybody kind of knows this, it's a tremendous problem, $445 billion problem. You don't have to be hacked in order to be a victim of cybercrime. You don't have to have somebody coming in from some sophisticated hacker that goes through some sort of crazy encryption code. It can be something as simple as a phishing scam or a click fraud or any of these types of things that can actually really hurt your company, confuse customers, steal traffic, and really damage. And actually, it's really exciting for me to see all these people out here who are starting such great companies with great names and brands and building such equity. And we built DomainSkate to help you guys actually protect your names as you're going forward and growing. So, opportunities and threats. So many of you probably know that the new domains have come, and they're here, and there's over 700 of them that have been released. And what I mean by the new domains is everything to the right of the dot. So for a very long time, it's just been .com, .net, .biz. There's 22 of them, and that's all you had. Over 80% of all domains are registered in the .com space. So the folks that run the internet said, we've got to change this. We want to have a more global internet. We want to actually have people who are registering something other than .com. And actually, a lot of companies are also having problems finding good names. So this is what's happened. We've got branded domains that are coming out, .city, .bmw. We've got generic terms like club, baby. I'm sure tinybeans.baby would be a terrific domain. .nyc, who I know is a sponsor here. And .nyc is actually doing a very good job of bringing out their registry. It's a vetted registry. You have to be located in New York in order to register a .nyc domain. And so this is all changing very fast. This is just illustrating that change over time. This is the last year. This is an example of, many of you have probably received phishing emails from Wells Fargo, Citibank. It looks really legit. There's a domain. There's a link to a URL that looks legitimate. It's probably got the brand in the name, but it's just a little bit off. Maybe it's got a hyphen. Maybe it's got something that's a little bit wrong with it. Probably everybody here hasn't clicked on it, but you probably know somebody who has. And these are increasing, and particularly now with all these new domains, there's more real estate to actually infringe. So I'm telling this whole story here. Security starts at, we like to say security starts at the domain level, and this was a problem Fast Company had. We actually identified it for them, and they did something about it. So we like to talk about it as monitoring, managing, and mitigating, and I'll move on to that too. We're trying to be a comprehensive solution. And so this is our interface. This is going to be out in about 2 weeks. We have a MVP that we've used to this point, and it's worked really well, and we decided that we were going to sort of map it out a little bit. So JVC Kenwood, they're actually a client. They said it was okay if we use this. We sort of fudged the numbers a little bit, so that, this isn't exactly it. So they would come into the system. They see their brands. They have a whole bunch of different brands. They can actually check in on each one. They can drill down, go into the one that they want to check on. Here you'll see there's all these numbers, and the numbers are just indicative of what we found and what they're looking at. Here's their dashboards, provides a little bit more information for them in terms of what types of things we're finding. Are we finding mistypes? Are we finding hyphenations? Are we finding that they're adding certain types of terms? So we're trying to get really sophisticated about how it is that people are actually going out and trying to mess up brands. And then you can actually drill down even further, and here you can actually get a visual of what the site looks like. So without actually clicking on it, because we've had some problems clicking on we've had clients who've been clicking on these things and then actually getting viruses or malware and not really wanting that stuff. So what you can do is you can go in here, and this visual, you can actually drill down a little bit further. You can press one of three things: watch, which means that it's something that might be a priority for your company; act, where we're actually combining with we have a partnership with a legal services company, a flat rate legal services company, to actually help small businesses at a very reasonable rate when they actually need a cease and desist letter or a domain arbitration, to actually deal with it in a very effective way. And ignore, obviously, you know what that means. So here, also, we have a little bit more detail where we really get into some of the security features, where we'll actually tell you and give you a historical analysis of what we've been viewing for that specific domain and that site. So we have these different categories. We click into different systems to get this information. We have malware, phishing, clickbait. Maybe there's an imposter site, which can be really bad, like a mirror site, where somebody's just actually taking your whole site, put up something that's similar to yours, and is actually taking customers or taking orders. We've had a lot of that in our system. And then obviously viruses. And so what we do is we take a history, and if anything changes here, so for example, if it goes from where you didn't have a malware problem on a site to something changes, we let you know. Or if the whois information changes, the ownership changes, we let you know. So we try and make it really simple. We do that by sending you an email or providing messages in the dashboard. Real world example, we have a hotel client. They sell hotel rooms by the day or the hour or something, and so they like to keep track of their competitors because there's always competitors who are trying to actually kind of siphon off traffic. They use the system to see who's registering what and keeping track of that. IP attorneys have actually been where I kind of grew up here. IP attorneys have actually been really good early adopters for us, because what they're doing is they're putting in their clients, and then if their problem pops up, they get the business, or they do the work. So it's actually been a real nice feature for them. They've also been using it to vet names. So for example, if anybody here is starting a company, you're thinking about a name, you want to see who owns what, GoDaddy will tell you what's available, but they won't tell you what's registered already and who might own it and all the little details about it. So you can go into our system and actually, for free, just go in there, put your name in, and see what is out there and what's registered. And so people have been doing kind of like soft trademark searches around that. Where we are today, we have over 200 users. Early adopters have been small businesses and attorneys. We have an integration with Clio.com. They're a legal management software provider, cloud-based. They have about 30,000 attorneys in their system, and we are working with them to actually get on board a lot of their users. We've been in the news a couple times. Taylor Swift, that was kind of fun. She's been registering some names. She's everywhere. So our business model, for one name, it's free, so small businesses can just go in and actually start using the system right away. If you have a little bit bigger portfolio, or if you want some more features, it's $19 a month, $49 a month, or $99 a month. We also have enterprise packages where we're talking to a bunch of really big companies and law firms that want to use this at a much closer to $1,000 a month price point. But even there, we're still so much lower than these sort of legacy systems that exist out there, and there are a couple of competitors. Future revenues, we're hoping to actually use. We kind of dipped our toe very, very gingerly into the AdWords and digital marketing space. It makes me nervous because but we're gonna give it a shot. And these are our targets, and social's been very good to us. And obviously partnerships. We're really interested in partnerships. We've got a lot of discussions going on right now, and legal tech sites and hubs, and yeah. So and this is our revenue plan. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And this is our team.
Okay, if we could just make it 3 or 4 minutes.
Sure. Yeah. Did I go over there?
Yeah,
oh, sorry. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. If I start talking, I can't stop.
You can keep it. Yeah.
Sorry.
So do you have access to any proprietary data sources, or is it all scraped from the web?
It's all straight from the web.
Is there any sort of, as you add more companies, is there any sort of benefit from having that scale and having, is there any network effect of monitoring more people, or are you monitoring everyone, understanding what the company's giving back to you in terms of data?
Yeah, there is, particularly in just seeing how the different types of malicious uses I mean, actually harvesting our own data and having that data for ourselves, we think is really valuable. Being able to be the source for that. So, we can tell for, certain types of companies. We can even drill it down to if you have a certain type of a trademark, if you have a very descriptive mark, this is the kind of things that are happening. If you have a very fanciful or very strong mark, something like, Pepsi or your totally made up name. So I think that is going to be valuable. We have that data, but we haven't been able to monetize it or anything in terms of scale.
I guess I was just wondering a little more about the competitive landscape, just because it sounds like you're targeting SMBs, and I imagine
Yes.
large public companies have been faced, and this is they've probably dealt with this issue already,
Yes.
and they're probably using a solution that
Yeah,
already exists.
yeah. I actually used to do that. I mean, I used to work into clients from Macy's and Panasonic and all these companies. There are two pretty big competitors in the space. They are really a sort of full service suite of products for the Yahoos and Apples and Googles, and they charge thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars a month. We really, they're focusing on a very small pool of companies and charging them a lot of money. We're trying to break this out and make it much broader.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks.
Thank you.